Hi, my name is Jen, and I'm a parishioner here at St. Vincent's, and I just thought I would share a little bit about my story. So I grew up Catholic, and I think, like a lot of cradle Catholics, I just kind of went through the motions, and I didn't fully understand what I was participating in or the significance of it. And it wasn't until I went off to college when a friend introduced me to a young adults group at a non-denominational church when I really felt like I got the message of God's love and His mercy and just how much He wants to have a personal relationship with us. And this is when I really felt like I started to develop my own faith and what I believed in. And then fast forward a few years, I'm out of college and I'm working, and I'm just really striving to prove myself and be successful. And my faith began to take the back seat. And eventually I found myself in a situation where I felt like I compromised everything that I believed in and everything that made me me. And there was so much guilt and so much shame and regret that came along with that, and all those things that I knew about God's love and how much He forgives just didn't seem to apply to me. So eventually all this shame and this guilt was basically just crushing me, and it was starting to take a toll on my relationships, and it was stealing my joy. And I remember my brother called me out on it one night, and I hadn't told anybody about this before, and I just was able to pour my heart out to him, and he, without any judgment, he just gave me the biggest hug, and he wanted to make sure that I knew that God still loved me and that He can forgive me. And he ended up connecting me with one of his friends who had a similar story. And she, ironically, was coming into the Catholic Church, or had just come into the Catholic Church. And I was kind of on my way out, thinking that I wanted to go the non-denominational route. And I met with her, and she suggested I do two things. The first was go to confession. And I would say that confession has really changed my life. I think there's something about sitting in front of a priest and being able to tell them all your worst qualities, and they can still look at you with love and compassion. And I think that just gives you a glimpse into what Jesus does for us and how He feels about us. And the second thing that she told me to do was to join an RCIA class, just so that before I walked away, that I understood exactly what the Catholic Church taught and why. And that also changed my life. I now have an understanding of why we believe that Jesus is present in the Eucharist. I can see how beautiful the Mass is, and it's really helped me develop a relationship with the Blessed Mother, and it's changing my heart. So I guess from my story, I would just hope that you would get the message that the enemy is who tries to keep us in our guilt and in our shame and our regret, and it ultimately will destroy our souls. But on the flip side of that, there's God, and He is love and joy and has so much mercy for all of us. And all we have to do is say yes to Him, and He can change our hearts and He can change our lives. Thanks for listening.